When we started, we had a dream of building a world-class winery in Oregon. There was nothing but Scotch broom and blackberry vines. In fact, I couldn't afford drip irrigation, and so I bought 17 lengths of 75-foot garden hose that I would string down through the vine rows and water by hand. You know, one of the hallmarks of the Oregon wine industry is how collaborative the winemakers are with each other and how supportive they are of each other. I had the help of many people. Susan Sokolblosser came down and helped me lay out the vine rows, and she provided me my very first plants. And then my neighbor, Bob Feller, would come over and help me with his own equipment, work the land up. Many years ago, we and our founding shareholders stood here right above these vines that were very young, all with their shovels, for their very first groundbreaking to build the building you see behind me. One of my primary drivers was to really show what Oregon could do, but do it as a winemaker on my own. And now at my age, I realize that my original intention was wrong. My job is to support others, is to create opportunity for others. We are asking wine enthusiasts to join us, and they can do that by buying preferred stock that we have qualified with the Securities and Exchange Commission. It actually has a NASDAQ listing. It's called WVVIP is its symbol on the NASDAQ. We are looking for wine enthusiasts, but we're not looking for everyone. These experiences that we offer here are very exclusive. We have a process by which we qualify those that are seeking application to purchase the preferred stock. It's the first time in U.S. history the Securities and Exchange Commission has allowed this. So there's a lot of reasons why someone would want to be a preferred stock owner in Willamette Valley Vineyards. They get to have a lot of fun. They get on the inside of what's going on in the vineyard, what's going on in the winery. They get to come and attend special events that are just designed for them. And in fact, some of the wines we make are in such small quantities, only our owners have access to those wines. And then all on top of that, as you can imagine, they get a 25% discount on any bottle of wine that they buy. The money you're providing is what supports the winery's growth. But it's really this, I mean, if you drink wine, you might as well own the winery. When the first immigrating winemakers came up from California, they brought cuttings from UC Davis's nursery at Stanley Ranch to grow Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Pinot Noir performed fairly well, but the Chardonnay would only ripen in our warmest years. And so we as winemakers knew we needed a solution. And so we contacted the French to see if they would help us get plant material directly from their great Grand Cru vineyards so that we could try those and see how they performed in our vineyards. And that is what we call now the Dijon clones. Early winemakers organized a trip with Oregon's governor, a trade mission to Burgundy, where we went to thank the French for their early support and to ask them for additional clones. And when we planted that in our vineyards, we discovered how remarkable it was as an addition, a complement to the clones we already had that were growing here. From the 667, we got this remarkable Pinot Noir spice and structure in our wines. And from the 777 clone, we got this really bright red fruit, jammy and yummy. And that combined with the other clones that we already had produced a tipping point for Oregon wine. Some of the greatest Pinot Noir in the world. First winemaker from California to come to Oregon and bring vinifera vines, Pinot Noir vines, was a winemaker named Richard Sumner. And he needed to find a lawyer to help him get a winery license, since the state hadn't issued a winery license in over 40 years because of Prohibition. And he hired my dad. And my dad brought home his wines for dinner, and he shared them with my brother and I. And we really liked those wines. And so we decided to try making wines ourselves. I was 10 years old at the time, and we snitched the frozen Concord grape juice Mom had in the freezer and we fermented it in those glass milk jugs. And that was my first beginning of making wine. In 1981, these emigrating California winemakers asked for my help. And it was that time that I started looking for this land. I found it, and I was finally able to secure it and start farming in 1983. I had to buy a garden hose on sale at Fred Meyer because I didn't have the money to drip irrigate these vines. And so we watered the vines all by hand. I've been living here at Willamette Valley Vineyards for over 35 years. And I feel like we're still just getting started.